What's going on, everybody? Kalipas Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a quick rundown of some of the more basic features of the OnePlus Nord N20 5G to help you get more familiar with the device. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about the phone itself, be sure to check out my full review of it on the channel. But with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to change the wallpaper. First thing you're going to do is go to settings, which you can do one of two ways. First of all, you can just find it in your app drawer. So right here, or you can pull down the shade like this, and the settings app is right here. So once you're in settings, go to personalizations. And as you can see, we got a few different options here. To change the wallpaper, of course, you're gonna go to wallpapers. And now you can choose between pre-installed wallpapers or your photos. And keep in mind, your home screen and your lock screen are completely separate. So for example, I can choose this for my lock screen and then keep my home screen at this. And when you're done, be sure to hit save. So there we go, pretty easy. But now I'm going to show you an even faster and more convenient way to do this and customize some other settings on your home screen as well. So what we're going to do now is press and hold a finger on a blank spot on your home screen. And when you're doing this, be sure not to touch an app or a widget. Otherwise it's going to go like this, which is not exactly what we want. So again, touch any blank spot on the home screen like this. And as you can see, this screen is going to show up. You can change the wallpaper right from here. You can also add or remove widgets and change your general home screen settings. So definitely a real cool feature, and it makes customizing your home screen a lot easier. Now we're gonna go over the system navigation. So as I'm sure you've noticed by now, this phone doesn't have buttons on the navigation bar. Instead, it's just this one line here that does pretty much nothing. And this is what's called gesture navigation. It's basically a little bit more modern, and it makes your operating system in general look a little bit more minimalistic. So in case you don't know how to use it, let me show you. So to go to your home screen, swipe up like this. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger partially up, and to go back, swipe your finger from left to right, or right to left. So it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it, and on this phone it works really well, but some people still might not really care for it. I know a lot of people just prefer the classic Android buttons, and if you are one of those people, you'll be happy to know you can actually switch back to the button navigation if you want. So to do that, we're gonna go to settings. From here, go down to convenience features, or convenience tools. I always thought that was a weird name for this. From this menu, go to navigation. And as you can see, by default, it will be in gesture navigation. But as you can see, you can switch it to buttons. And now we have the classic buttons again. And if you want, you can also switch the order of the buttons. So like that. So definitely cool that we get both options here. Now the next thing I'm gonna show you is how to change your screen lock. To do this, once again, we're gonna go to settings. From here, go to password and biometrics. And from here, we got a few different options. First of all, you can change your password. So if you go here, put in your current PIN, and now you got two different options here. First of all, you can turn off the password completely, which I don't really recommend, and you can also change it. Now, unfortunately with this phone, unlike a lot of other Android phones, you can't change it to something like a pattern, but you can at least change the number. So if we go here, enter it one more time, you'll have the option to put in a new password. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that this phone has both a fingerprint scanner and face unlock, and you can set those up right here. So say, for example, you want to add fingerprints, go to fingerprint, enter your password, and in the fingerprint menu, as you can see, you can add multiple fingerprints, and you can also delete them as well. Once you add a fingerprint here, by default, it will be used to unlock the screen, but if you go here, you can also use it to unlock an app. Now we're going to talk a little about notifications. Notifications from certain apps can be really useful, but as you start to get more and more apps, they're all probably going to send you notifications. And while some of them are really useful, others might not be so much. And not only does getting a bunch of meaningless notifications get really annoying, but it also makes it a lot easier to miss something important. So I'm going to show you how you can manage your notifications. So first thing we're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to notifications and status bar. And from here, go to manage notifications. Now from this menu, we got a few different things here. First of all, we got some options on how the notifications show up. So on the lock screen, you can change that. Then we got the dots, so this is going to show up if you have a notification from an app. And then bubbles, this is only for certain notifications like the text messaging and stuff like that. And then underneath this is really the most important part. And these are basically all the apps that are currently sending you notifications. As you can see, there are some you can't turn off, but that's really just system related. I personally have never even gotten a notification from the battery before, but in general, most of the apps that are going to be sending you all kinds of notifications you probably don't want can easily be turned off. So I'm going to go like that. And as you can see, you can really turn off pretty much anything. And again, most of the notifications you can't turn off are really just going to be system related. And in my experience, you're really not going to get these too often. Now, if we go back to the main notification menu, the other thing I want to talk about is status icons. So again, we are in the main notification menu right now, and we're going to go to status icons right here on the bottom. So here, this is all the stuff that can show up on your status bar. Now right now, my status bar does look pretty minimalistic, but as you get more notifications, they're all gonna really start showing up here. So in this menu, you can decide what shows up and what doesn't. And this is definitely a nice thing because if you have a bunch of notifications here, it can start to look really cluttered. So for example, I know that NFC is always gonna be on this phone, so I don't really need this to show up here. So I'm gonna turn this off. And as you can see, that's no longer there. I also don't currently have a SIM card in this phone, and for the purposes of this video, I don't really need one. So this notification in the status bar telling me I don't have a SIM card is just annoying, so I'm turning that off too. And as you can see, my status bar is looking really minimalistic now. If you want, you can get real crazy with it and turn everything off. And while I'm personally not gonna go that far, it's definitely nice to have the option to. Now let's take a look at the sound menu. First things first, we're gonna go to settings. From here, go to sounds and vibration. And the first thing we're gonna go over here is the vibrate section. So as you can see, by default, it is gonna vibrate on ring. So whether you have your sound on or not, the phone is still gonna vibrate, but you can also turn this off. Vibrate on silent. Again, when your phone is in silent mode, it's still gonna vibrate. Under this, you actually have the option to turn silent mode on, but you don't even need to go to this menu to do this. All you have to do is pull down the shade. Silent mode is right here, tap on the bell icon. And silent mode is now on. Under silent mode, we got several different volumes. First one is media, so if you're doing something like watching a video, playing a game, listening to music, that's what media is gonna control. Under that, we got the ringtone, pretty self-explanatory. Notifications, so like stuff from apps, and I believe this also includes text messages. And then alarms, again, pretty self-explanatory here. Under this, we got the function of the volume button. So if we go here, as you can see, by default, it will control the media volume, but you can also switch it to ringtone volume. Under this, we got do not disturb, and just like silent mode, you don't actually have to go to the sound menu to turn this on. All you have to do is pull down the shade, and do not disturb is right here. Under this, we got several different sounds we can change. So ringtone, by default, it's gonna be this standard issue OnePlus sound. You can choose from pretty much anything here, and you can also make a custom ringtone from your files. Now if we go back, under ringtone, we got the message tone. Again, just like the ringtone, you can choose from one of these, or you can get a custom one from your files. And then last but not least, we got the notification sound, and it's literally the same kind of thing. You can choose from any of the default sounds, or you can make a custom sound. From here, we can go to more sounds and haptics, and this is gonna have a few different system sounds you can toggle on or off. So dial pad tone, lock screen sound, screenshot sound, all this stuff is on by default. Fingerprint animation sound, if you want, you can turn that on too. Touch sound, so that's basically that popping noise that happens whenever you press a button. By default, these two are not on for whatever reason, but if you want, you can also turn them on. And then vibrate on touch, this by default is on, but you can of course turn it off if you want. So that's pretty much it for the basic sound menu. Pretty straightforward, there's not really a whole lot here, but it's definitely nice the options are so easy to change. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. So the first thing we're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to display. And from this menu, go to auto screen off right here. As you can see, I have mine set to 30 minutes. I honestly can't remember if it was like that by default or if I put it like that, but in general, I personally tend to keep mine pretty long, especially for these videos. And if you're consuming a lot of content like watching videos, reading, playing games, that kind of thing, you're probably gonna wanna keep yours pretty long too. That way your phone's not gonna fall asleep when you're doing something. But if you're not consuming a lot of content, having a longer screen timeout time might just drain your battery faster, especially if you forget to lock it. So in that situation, you're probably gonna want yours to be a lot shorter. As you can see here, you can have it as short as 15 seconds or as long as 30 minutes. So definitely play around with it and see which setting works best for you, because it's probably going to be at least a little different for everyone. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. Now there are like 2.5 ways to do this, so I'm going to show you all of them. The first way is pretty simple. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this, but in case you don't, you're going to press the power key and the volume down key at the same time like this. And that's pretty much it. You can share it, delete it, whatever you want to do. Crop it if you want. So pretty much the standard way to take a screenshot with any phone, and that was easy enough, but we also got this cool looking gesture. So if you put 3 fingers on your screen and swipe down like this, that's also going to take a screenshot. So definitely real cool there. And then the last way is a little different. This is called a partial screenshot. So basically it's going to allow you to take a screenshot of a really specific spot of the screen. So to do this, you're going to put 3 fingers on the screen like this. And as you can see, you can crop it however you want. And that's pretty much it. So pretty simple overall, and I'm definitely glad to see we have multiple ways to take a screenshot with this phone. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to use dark mode. Just like pretty much everything on this phone, dark mode is real easy to access. So what you're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to display and brightness. And dark mode is right here up at the top. Simply hit dark. And there we go, dark mode is now activated. You can also go to auto switch. And this is basically going to have dark mode automatically turn on from sunset to sunrise. And you can also customize it. So as you can see, you can set pretty much whatever time you want. Now you can also go to dark mode settings here. And this is going to make it a little bit easier on your eyes in the dark. But this concludes my beginner's guide to the OnePlus Nord N20 5G. In general, as you can probably tell, this phone is super easy to use, but it does have quite a few features, so if you want to learn more about it, be sure to check out my full review and other tips and tricks for it on the channel. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to follow Kalipa's Tech on Twitter and Instagram, and as always, I will see you in the next one.